Hello to all my posse. Hello to all my new subscribers who have joined my posse. And I want you to know that even though I call you a posse, which is a group, I know who each and every one of you are. So I am dedicating this video to each of you. I know you all by names. I know you by your comments. So I'm individualizing this especially for you. So if you want to hear about part 2 of growing older and what to expect, stay tuned. You don't want to miss this. Today is part 2 of the long-awaited video that me and Gayle are bringing you today. I thought today, since we're talking about aging, and you all know that I'm 76, that we can still rock the long hair. It's all about how you think about yourself and how you think about your body and how you feel. It doesn't matter, you know, long, short, medium hair. It doesn't matter makeup, no makeup. It doesn't matter big, fat, skinny. It's all how you feel in here and how you exercise your mind into feeling that way. And today we're going to touch, part 1 was really good. I got a lot of great feedback from you on part 1. And we talked about being positive when you're older and just keeping a good attitude and how to live your life from the 2 dates that were given you and the dash in the middle, and how to live that dash to the best of your ability. And in that dash comes a lot of segments of your life. You have, you know, your youth, you have your teenage years, you have your, you know, marriage 1, marriage 2, marriage 3, marriage 4, whatever. But you have a very different segments of your life that goes into that dash and changes that happen to you as you get older. Some are good, some are not good, but you know, here we are. We managed to jump over the hurdle and go on with our life because that's what we have left. We have life, regardless of your circumstances, regardless whether, you know, some of you are, you know, not feeling well, and I know some of you are not feeling well, and kisses to you that are recovering from an illness or going through an illness. You still have the ability to think and to think positive thoughts into your mind, and that is what's going to sustain you from that date, birth date, to your end date. And I just think that exercise is a broad term. You know, I did a exercise video. I'll link it below, but I linked it also before, and it's pretty funny actually. But it's true, it's true. I do some physical exercises, and first of all, I apologize. I have sinuses. I have the worst sinus headaches the last 3 days. I don't know, something's in the air. The change fall, which I love, which you can barely see my pumpkin, and my tree has changed. My tree in front was so beautiful orange, and then the winds came and took all the leaves off, and I couldn't even enjoy the beautiful orange tree. But anyway, where was I? But yeah, exercising your mind is what keeps you going. And you know, no matter what you're going through, you just have to be positive. And if you're in a situation, this is part of exercising your mind when you're older. You know, and I said it, we go through so many different segments, and women, we are like, I don't know, God made us like with shoulders this big because we give birth, we raise children, we have a lot of different layers of our life that we have to exercise to keep our families going. Most of us do the cooking, and we work besides, and so, you know, I'm tired thinking of it. Anyway, we do a lot of things, and that, surprisingly, everything that we did, you know, you probably think now, like, oh my gosh, you look back and think, how did I do that? I know I see my daughter, I mean, I ran around with the grandkids too, but she's like works, you know, 3 jobs, not all at the same time, to support her kids, being a divorced mom. And she runs to practice and runs here. And yeah, she has our help, but she has a lot on her plate. And I think to myself, how does she do that? But we all have done that. And you know, as we get older and we get to this stage of our life, and we think, gosh, how did we do that? Those are the things that kept our mind alert and kept us going and kept us waking up the next day and kept us, you know, happy or whatever. And those are the things that you, when you're older, you've got to put back into your mind. You've got to exercise your mind in order to have your body in good condition. And that may sound crazy to you, but really and truly, if you have a depressed mind or you're down all the time, your body is going to be down with you. I mean, if you can't get up and you can't get motivated and you can't get off the couch, or you can't get out and take a walk, or you can't go to the grocery store without, you know, dreading it, you've got to exercise your mind and pump your mind into some endorphins someplace that want to actually go and do those things. You know, I go to the store with my husband. He pulls into Lowe's or Home Depot, and I told you this before, and I go, oh my gosh, Lowe's, Home Depot. Nothing against Lowe's or Home Depot, but it's so boring, and he takes forever in there. But you know what? I've learned to myself to get out of the car and go in with him and walk around the stores and just keep walking. He can take as long as he wants. I use that time to exercise myself, to walk around the store. That's exercise, making myself, my mind, get out and do some physical exercise, even if it's walking around Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever man store he decides to go, you know, and I just do it. And I find another resource to help me and help my mind. Because if I sit there and ho-hum about it or wait in the car, that's ridiculous when I could actually be doing something. And those are the things that you have to exercise your mind for when you're older. You don't want to get like sit in a chair and sit in a rocker and think about days that have gone by. You've got to do those things that have gone by today and find something to motivate your mind to motivate your body. I mean, you can get up, and I mentioned it in my video before, you can do a little bit of physical exercising, and I know some of you that it's hard, but I've also mentioned that, you know, to be physical a little bit, just get yourself some soup cans and sit right here in the chair and just, you know, pump yourself up, and it just does something to you. It does something to your mind. It's kind of like, maybe it's a bad analogy, but it's like if you got a really dirty closet and you know that you have to do it. Every day that you don't do that, it drags you down and drags you down. It drags you down physically, emotionally. It even makes you more lazy when you don't do it. But if you get up and you hit that closet and you clean it, you feel so much better knowing that you did it. And you feel, oh, what can I do next? What can I do next? What can I do next? You know, it just makes you want to do more and more. But if you sit there and go, poor me, you know, my kids are gone, there's nothing for me to do, you know, it's just going to get worse, and you're going to sit there and your butt's going to be this big. Maybe that's fine. Having a big butt, there's nothing wrong with that. But if it's from just laziness and just sitting there and feeling sorry for yourself, then it is a bad butt. But, you know, doing a little bit of exercising can really help you motivate your life and keep you in on an upswing level. And doing a few physical activities, I do my stretches and sometimes I walk around the house. My basement steps are right there. I just go down the steps and I come up slowly and hold on to the railing. But I do come up and I go down and I come up and I go down and I come up and I go. And it's just, and I can feel myself, my heart pumping, and I can feel myself like really wanting to do more. But once you sit around and then you watch TV and then you don't do anything, it just drags you down, and it just doesn't motivate you to do anything. And you know, too, our bodies change. We change so much as we get older. And honest to goodness, some days, I had a girlfriend, she said she had never looked at herself in the mirror. She never saw herself in the mirror. And one day she said she was, I don't know, I think she was 65. I think she's about 68 now, but it's the first time in her life she ever actually stared herself in the mirror. And she said she caught herself when she was getting out of the shower, and she looked, and she had to look behind her because she thought it was somebody else. And she actually took a look at herself, and she was like, oh my gosh, when did that happen? And we've all been there. I mean, you know, things, your body changes when you get older also. And, you know, you somehow you settle down with things, you become settled into your life, and then things maybe settle down in your life a little bit. You're not as active as you were, and then all of a sudden you have this concentration on your body, and then you go, I mean, I woke up one night, I think I said it, and looked at my arms and said, okay, so there's the tooth fairy, where's the arm fairy? Because they came and they took my arms, these are not mine. I didn't have these yesterday. Oh no, I didn't have these legs yesterday. These were not my legs. Okay, where's the leg fairy? Because they exchanged them for somebody else's legs. That somebody's walking around with my arms and my legs because these are not mine. I know that, I didn't have them yesterday. You know, your body just all of a sudden just seems to change, like right before your eyes. It's like, when did this happen? You know, I think your mind settles down from all your busy activities, and then when you finally find a time to actually look at yourself, you go, oh my goodness, what happened? And it's just normal changes. I mean, for years, you know, I've always had, I told you, dimples in my leg that I thought were cute dimples, but they're cellulite. But you know, I didn't want to go in the water. I didn't want to wear a bathing suit. I was embarrassed. I didn't want to do this. You know, well, you're older, you know, and now those dimples just have like ripples around them. Like when you throw a stone in the water and it goes, you know, and that's what I have. Now I can choose to sit there and put that long bathing suit on that I told you about before, that I bought once. It's down to my knees, and then when it got wet and I tried to get out of the water, it was like a maxi skirt. You know, I could still pull that off, but why bother? I mean, you have to accept some of the changes. And if you can exercise and you can change it up a little bit, just from the standpoint maybe that you were lazy and didn't take care of yourself, those are the changes that maybe you can make a little bit to just tighten up and make yourself feel good. But body changes. You know, I mean, sorry guys, but your boobs that were once up here are now like part of your stomach. I mean, I don't know, things drop, things change. It's a matter of adapting to it and keeping a good relationship with your own mind. That's what's going to keep you from really not letting that take over your whole thought process, not letting your, you know, body changes, you know, your face sagging, of course it won't if you massage, but we're talking, serious, no, you know, but I mean, your face sags, you know, your hair thins out, you know, unless you have Gayle. But you know, you have many, many changes that happen in your body that you have to get used to. You can't let it drain you emotionally, because that ruins the whole dash. I mean, to let something bother you that bad, not getting in the water, you know, maybe you don't look the same, you know, you can't wear the same kind of clothes that you wore maybe when you were in high school, wherever your brain takes you, that's the image that you remember in your head, how you're supposed to look. You can't wear those things. Some of us have bigger stomachs, some of us have bigger legs than others, some of us have bigger, you know, boobs than others. I mean, you have to, and you get older, they get bigger and saggier, and, you know, and you just have to deal with some of that. And, you know, you can keep in shape. Of course you can keep in shape, and you can diet, you can eat right, which is imperative about your whole physical being and your mental being, is putting foods in your body that really help you, help your memory and are good nutrition sources for yourself. There's many foods that you can eat. I mean, if you know, sit around and eat donuts all day, I mean, you know, you're going to be dragged down. And I told you the story about when I ate donuts all day. When I was on Weight Watchers, I ate them for the whole day, and for 3 days I was like down and out and mean and crabby, and I was like on a sugar high. It was like not good. But you know, so what you put in your mouth really helps your mind stay clear. And there's things in life that that you know, you can't change. You can't change maybe if you have a physical problem, but you can change on how you think about that physical problem. there are things in life that maybe is in your environment that are not stable. Maybe in a relationship, but you don't have an unstable relationship. If that's the case, you have a mind, you can get out of the relationship. You can remove yourself from environments that restrict you from thinking, that restrict you from having fun, that restrict you from being you and who you are. You never, and I tell my grandkids this, you never let anybody come into your brain that is going to change how you feel about life and about yourself, because then you're living their life, you're not living your life. And if you're in a toxic relationship, don't ever feel trapped, don't feel pinned. You can get out. That's exercising your rights, that's exercising your brain. It's in turn, by exercising that, you will have exercised your body, because you will feel this surge of energy that you did something positive for yourself. Never let a situation that you are in that's toxic bring you down to who you are and who you want to be. Never, because you have this dash. You have to live your dash. You can't live that dash according to what somebody else thinks that dash should be, because they have no business being in your life if you think that you have to change and live in a situation that's not comfortable for you. That's all part of exercise. That's all part of growing older and getting to this point. I have told you I was in a very toxic relationship with my first husband, and I had 2 little kids, and it was very hard getting out of it. I exercised my rights and my kids' rights by getting out of that situation. That's a part of growing. That's a part of being who you are when you're older. I think some of my decisions that I made in life have brought me to be 76 and be who I am today, because I didn't really let anybody change who Barbara was, who my brain was. I exercised my rights as a woman to be the person that I am today. And I think that you can all do that also if you're in a situation that you shouldn't be, because that's exercising your rights and exercising your brain. And once you get past that, then you'll be able to, sit on the toilet and do squats. Well, not sit on the, you saw my video before, but that's what I do. When I exercise during the day, I find moments to, I'm jumping a little bit here, but I find moments where I can exercise. Like when I hang my clothes up from the laundry room, when I hang them on the hanger, I stretch up on my tippy toes and hang them on the hanger, and then I come down on my feet. And then my next one, I go and I stretch way up on my tippy toes and I hang the next shirt, and then I come down. Those are little tidbits of physical exercise that you can do. And if you're bending down to pick up something, bend down like you were exercising. Don't, try to hold on. I mean, if you need to hold on to something to bend down, I certainly get it, because, yeah, bending down is one thing, but then getting up is another. But any movement that you do, you can turn into some sort of physical activity. Sitting down in a chair, if you're going to sit down in a chair, try to sit down, then get up again, and then sit back down, and then get up again, and then sit back down. Turn that sitting down, watching TV, into something that's physical. If you're sitting there and you have your legs up on the coffee table, just raise your legs a little bit and give a couple of little scissor exercises, or sit there and raise your legs up and down. It's a physical activity that eventually is going to make you feel better. It's a crazy thing. Anything physical that you do helps you feel better in your mind. So I think exercising and your changes that you've gone through in life help you get to where you are today. I think doing all those things helps you be a better, mature, woman of a certain age, or men. But it helps you get to where you're at and enjoy where you're at. I think that so many things change when we're older. Our bodies change, our environments change, our children leave the nest, they move out of state. We're not as wanted as we once were. But we have to take those things and turn them into a positive. If your kids live out of state, you can go visit them and turn that into a beautiful memory that I'm sure your grandkids or your kids will love and will be a blessing to yourself. But you have to learn to deal with those changes and turn them into a mental exercise that makes you feel good Otherwise, if you sit there and go, poor me, it's going to just drain you, make you not enjoy is what it will do, your age and where you're at. So no matter what age you're at, I don't care if you're 40, 50, 60, 76 like myself, 80, 90, you can still think great thoughts. You can still exercise your mind into thinking really great thoughts and taking each moment of your life and be grateful that you have this present that God gave you of today. And, you know, doing something. And like I said in the last video, crochet, do something. Anything you do, walk outside, any kind of physical exercise that you do, surprisingly helps you mentally also. And you get to this point in life where you can sit back and enjoy where you're at. I totally enjoy being 76. I would like to be 36 probably too, but we can't have everything. We have our wants and our needs list. I learned that not too long ago. We have our wants and our needs, and so our needs are today to just live the best life we can, put positive thoughts in ourselves, take our bodies for what they are, be grateful for what they are. Yeah, they're not going to look like they did when you were in high school, but in your brain, if you're walking around thinking, hi, and your mind is thinking like, hey, you look like that, you'll walk around taller and you'll just feel positive just thinking that you might look like that. I don't know, that's kind of a weird exercise of your brain, but it's true. But if all you see, I guess it's like, you know, if you get all dolled up and you go out and you look pretty good, but you got that one pimple on your nose, well, when you go out all night, that's the only thing you see is that pimple on your nose. And I don't care how many people will come up to you and say, oh, I love your hair, I love your outfit, you're going to think of that pimple on your nose. And it's going to change your whole perspective of your fun for that night because of that one negative thing. And I guess, you know, when you get older, you have to really reel it in and stop thinking about any kind of negativity and have that weigh you down. That changes your whole perspective of all the positivity around you. And that is what's going to get you to be my age or older and have a positive outlook. And like I said before, surround yourself with young people, surround yourself with people who look like you, who have the same hang-ups as you or the same laughs as you, turn them into laughs. There's many people out there, you know, who feel like you do, maybe that you don't even know it. And just accept your body. And it's like, you know, if you can't fit into or think about, you know, clothes that you used to wear, like I think I was saying before, you may have a bigger stomach now. You what's the word? You camouflage things that need to be camouflaged and emphasize things that you still have. Great. I mean, I have a girlfriend who has a really big stomach, but she's got the skinniest little legs I've ever seen. But she wears bigger tops, not like maternity tops, but little blousier tops, and the tightest leggings that she can find, because her asset are her legs, and she flaunts them. Maybe, you know, your asset's your waistline. You want to flaunt that. Maybe it's your bust line. I mean, I'm not saying walk out and go, hey, girls. I'm just saying, you know, to go with what your assets are, hide with the things that you are not comfortable with. And it is what it is. You just have to enjoy what you have. And learn to just accept what you have and be grateful that you have each day to look forward to. And if things bother you really bad and you feel really dragged down and you feel like down and you don't feel like doing anything today, I have said before that I have a Tell God book, and in that book I have written down many things and got them out of my head, and I put in this Tell God book. And I've said this a couple of times before, and it is my diary to God and my diary to positive thinking. Because if I have a negative thought and I can't shake it, I'll go put it in my God book, I'll write it down, I'll close the book, and I give it to God and let him figure it out. And I wake up maybe the next morning like a new person. I exercise my rights of my brain to help me turn into a positive person for what I have to work with today. And I never worry about it. Am I self-conscious still a little bit to go to a pool? Yeah, but would I give that up not to go with my grandkids? No. You know, I'm much better, I'm much more comfortable in my skin today, maybe even than I was 10 or 15 years ago, because I'm grateful. I'm so grateful to have made it to this point. So I would say to you, if you're feeling down or if you're feeling bad, talk to a friend, exercise with a friend, cook with a friend, grab somebody that you know in your apartment complex or family, get together and cook, you know, talk about, you know, funny things, talk about your body if you want to talk about it, laugh about it. You can't do anything about it. Enjoy it. Walk straighter, walk faster, clear your mind, and you're going to turn out just fine when you get to be 76. And if you're older and you're watching this, because some of you are, listen, you can still be the best that you can be. There's just so much to enjoy in life itself. Your body image should not control who you are. It should be who you are, not control your thinking negative about it. So go out and have some fun, think positive thoughts, do a little exercising, drink your water. Water is very, very important. You'd be surprised how much water can help clear your mind. And it's good for your body, and it's wonderful to take for a walk and just breathe in the fresh air. So exercising as you're older is not only exercising your body, which can make you feel really great, but it's also exercising your thinking and taking yourself back and being the best that you can be with what you have, and make that dash go a little longer, and you'll be a lot happier. Get rid of negativity, because that is not something that exercises your mind or your body. So enjoy where you're at, be grateful for where you're at, and if you're feeling like old, go buy a Gayle. I love you guys. Thanks for coming in to my living room today, each and every one of you. Hi Myra, hi Mary, hi Cindy, hi Anna. Anna's watching me today on big screen. She got cable, so I'm up on big screen. How's it going, Anna? Anyway, so I know who you all are. I appreciate you all. I love each and every one of you, and I'm so glad that you are into my home and that you enjoy me. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, thumbs up, and share me. That's how I'll grow. And thank you for all your great comments. I so appreciated it on part 1. Stay tuned for part 3, and we're going to talk about what's involved with aging and downsizing. Yeah. So in between, I'm going to have some good videos for you too in between. And I'll have some empties coming up and things that you don't want to miss. So I love you guys. Thanks for coming into my living room on this gloomy day. I was going to shoot the last video on a sunny day and this video on a sunny day, and both days it's gloomy. Today it's pouring, raining, it's cold, it's gloomy. But you know what? Gloomy weather doesn't change my spirits, doesn't change my heart, doesn't change my mood like some do. It just makes me want to go bake chocolate chip cookies, which I think I will. That's it for me. Love you guys. I'll see you again soon. Bye.